This video is brought to you by The Monkey, in theaters February 21st.
Come and play with us, Daddy.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the spooky flicks that captivated the world. These are titles that have ingrained themselves in pop culture with lasting influence that shows no signs of waning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Number 10, the Scream franchise.
Is this some kind of joke?
More of a game, really. Can you handle that? Blondie.
Lauded for single-handedly reviving the slasher genre, this franchise is truly unforgettable. The continuous output of films starring famous faces keeps it fresh in the collective consciousness, but not always for the same reason. It was once popular for its satirical elements and hilarious self-awareness.
The sin factor. It's a sin. It's an extension of number one. And number three, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back.
Now its central villain, Ghostface, is the subject of fanfiction. Somewhere in between, the TikTok generation started romanticizing the mysterious cloaked maniac, and now we're in the era of Scream-themed thirst traps. One way or another, it continues to be relevant, and that alone deserves some kudos.
How easy it is to convince the world to believe the worst in people rather than the best.
Because it's not enough to just kill someone these days. You have to assassinate their character first.
Number 9, Saw. In this film, a masked murderer traps helpless victims in his twisted death games.
Rise and shine, Adam. You're probably wondering where you are. I'll tell you where you might be.
It is probably not the scariest one out there, nor is it particularly commendable in its originality. However, do we still see the Jigsaw Killer pop up among Halloween costumes year after year without fail? Yep.
Hello, Amanda. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
We're still reenacting John Kramer's iconic dialogues and parodying his games. Even the film industry has repeatedly used it as a template for success. Why? Because Saw had the X factor to blaze a new trail in horror. Sure, critics denounced its gratuitous gore and overuse of the torture trope, but the shock of it all has permanently lodged it in our brains.
Game over.
Number 8, The Blair Witch Project.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them.
Not the first of its kind, but the first to make a mark, this found footage film was a cultural reset. With advertising that convinced moviegoers there was some truth to the story, it went viral before that was even a thing.
We're out of here, I'm leaving.
Come on, turn it off!
I want you to take a nap in the creek either.
Help! Please help us! Help us!
This is not the way to get out of here.
Tapping into primal human fears, like that of the dark unknown, Blair Witch was as visceral as it got. Its cult classic status birthed several remakes in the form of books, video games, and more. The mockumentary format has been consistently reused in film and TV since then, and still shows the influence of the OG. Number 7, the Evil Dead franchise. When he started making this movie, Sam Raimi had a cabin in the woods, Bruce Campbell, and a dream. Little did he know it would go on to be one of the most talked about, controversial, yet groundbreaking horror movies in the genre's history.
What is this?
Whatever it is, it's still down there.
I don't like cellars. Let's just close it up. It's probably just some animal.
An animal? An animal? That is the stupidest thing I ever heard of.
When a cursed text is unearthed, it beckons monstrous spirits from down under. With a bunch of ill-fated humans to possess, brutality ensues.
Cheryl, there's nothing out there. Trees do not attack people.
Ashley, will you drive me into town or not?
What, right now? Yeah, look, sure, I'll take you into town, but just listen to what you're saying.
I don't care how it sounds. I want to get out of this place right now.
The budget may have been terribly low, but the vibes were definitely high, and the same goes for its multiple sequels. Its irreverent style is referenced to this day, and yet cannot be outdone.
Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
Number 6. Halloween. John Carpenter's seminal horror picture was not only ahead of its time, but also created an undeniable precedent for scary movies to come.
Well, who needs books anyway? I don't need books. I always forget all of my books. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you have your books or not. Hey, isn't that Devon Graham?
I don't think so.
Starring everyone's favourite psycho killer, Michael Myers, Halloween makes no pretense about deeper messages. It's pure, unadulterated fright, striking the perfect balance between carnage and nail-biting suspense.
Help! Somebody help me, please! Somebody help! Oh God, help me!
Rather than flashy frills, you get a smouldering mystery with a fantastic payoff. The soundtrack is timelessly horrifying and never fails to give us the chills. Of course, it hit the box office jackpot and quickly became the highest grossing independent film of the year it was released. If you love these films, then you're also going to love Osgood Perkins' The Monkey, which was produced by none other than The Conjuring's James Wan. Based on Stephen King's short story of the same name, the horror comedy will be in theatres on February 21st, 2025. Number 5. Alien. A space expedition goes horribly wrong when a crew of astronauts find an abandoned alien spaceship and decide to investigate. We all know what happens when you tamper with something that should be left alone, right? Alien takes that warning and amplifies it 1,000-fold.
Unless somebody has got a better idea, we'll proceed with Dallas's plan.
What? And end up like the others? No, you're out of your mind.
You got a better idea?
Yes. I said that we abandoned the ship.
Director Ridley Scott wasn't playing when he set out to revolutionise the horror genre with this one. Fusing science fiction with screams, it gave us nightmare fuel of the highest order. Not to mention that Sigourney Weaver as Ripley is a female protagonist who's the embodiment of badassery. It's no surprise that it took home a bunch of accolades, including an Oscar for VFX. Not even its own sequels could beat the original.
I should reach the frontier in about 6 weeks. With a little luck, the network will pick me up. This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.
Number 4. Psycho. The signature score of this Alfred Hitchcock classic has become somewhat of a meme in today's day and age. However, that doesn't make it any less unnerving in its original context.
If you love someone, you don't do that to them even if you hate them. You understand? I don't hate her. I hate what she's become.
Boasting the most delicious plot twist, this Freudian thriller about an eerie motel in the middle of nowhere is exceedingly paranoia-inducing. Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates has a way of crawling under our skin and sending us into a tailspin.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
After all, who can forget the shower scene that, for its time, was so shocking it kick-started the slasher genre? Psycho may go down as Hitchcock's greatest, though we can't say the same about the franchise it produced.
Let them see what kind of a person I am. I'm not even gonna swat that fly. I hope they are watching. They'll see. They'll see and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Number 3. The Exorcist. A little girl possessed by a demon and 2 priests enlisted to save her. How scary could it be? Apparently enough to paralyze viewers with fear.
Keep away! The soul is mine!
William Friedkin doled out equal parts supernatural terror and deeply human pathos in this masterpiece, which terrifies to this day. Despite an initially mixed reception, there's no doubt about its global impact today.
How long are you planning to stay in Reagan?
Until she rots and lies stinking in the earth.
What's that? Holy water. You keep it away.
The vein of good versus evil and the eventual triumph of the former continues to find a place in contemporary horror, and nothing could stop young Linda Blair's depiction of Reagan, not even the heroines who came in later remakes.
Hey, I think we've got a guest.
You're gonna die up there.
Number 2, The Shining.
My girls, they didn't care for the Overlook at first. One of them actually stole a pack of matches and tried to burn it down. But I corrected them, sir.
In this stylish psychological horror set in the dreary Overlook Hotel, an unassuming family is plagued by sinister forces, pushing them to insanity, or unleashing the demons within. It's based on a Stephen King novel, directed by Stanley Kubrick, and stars Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. Talk about a talent powerhouse.
Wendy? Stay away! Darling, light of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
With as many interpretations as it has fans, The Shining has etched itself into the fabric of Hollywood and beyond.
Here's Johnny!
Today, you'll see traces of it in the unlikeliest of places, be it a parody in a random episode of The Simpsons or a reference in Finding Nemo. Allusions to this classic are rampant.
Here's Brucey!
We're pretty sure that's not going to stop anytime soon. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. The Paranormal Activity franchise, because the name itself is now a genre.
I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. Downstairs. Please, 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 please.
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger is an integral part of Hollywood horror.
Please, God.
This is God.
Rosemary's Baby. This cult movie has a cult following.
What have you done to its eyes?
He has his father's eyes.
What are you talking about? Guy's eyes are normal. What have you done to him, you maniac?
Satan is his father, not Guy.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The bloodiest blend of social commentary and survival.
Sally, I hear something. Stop. Stop.
The Conjuring universe. Being based on true events makes it infinitely more haunting.
Hey, wanna play hide and clap?
Number 1. Jaws. You can escape a serial killer or exorcise an evil spirit, but there's really no predicting what a crazed shark is capable of. That's where master filmmaker Steven Spielberg came in.
Lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living until he bites you, and those black eyes roll over white, and then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming.
Today, we know the deep sea is home to bizarre, alien-like species. In 1975, however, the sensational horrors of the ocean hadn't yet received the cinema treatment. So, when Jaws emerged like a great white from calm waters, it made a splash, to say the least.
The time I was most frightened, waiting for my turn. I'll never put on a life jacket again. So 1,100 men went in the war. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest June the 29th, 1945.
Plus, a shark's POV is novel even by today's standards. Fun fact, the elevator pitch for Alien was actually Jaws in space. That tells you all you need to know about the cultural footprint of this fear fest.
I used to hate the water. I can't imagine why.
Do you think these horror movies are overrated or iconic? Sound off in the comments.
This is overpowering.
It's getting worse.
Yes, it certainly doesn't like that I'm here.
This video is brought to you by The Monkey, in theaters February 21st.